Well, hello, CTFO family. My name is Michael Swilling, and hey, Nicole, I am so excited. Nicole's been one of my favorites for so many years, and we're going to be doing a tremendous amount of a variety of training and topics and information and really providing value for the team. And I went out to a handful of leaders to start, and certainly Nicole's been one of the top leaders in CTFO, one of the loyal leaders in CTFO for many, many years. And she replied back immediately saying she'd love to train and help and support others. And one of her favorite topics is social media. And there's really no one better that I know that can build a business and is incredible for doing it. But let me read real quickly a little bio of Nicole. Nicole loves showing men and women across the globe how to be successful while turning social media into a money machine. I love that, turning social media into a money machine. She has been a motivational trainer for MLM companies to help with new recruits, with their morale, teamwork, communication skills, and ultimately to help them achieve results. She's a former Navy veteran. Thank you so much for your service. It means a lot. A corporate trainer who has learned how to turn a home-based business into a legacy for her and those around her. She's been named a top social media trainer. You're awesome. You rock. And I am going to be taking some great notes. On each of these trainings, I always like to ask the leader, the special guest speaker, and it's probably a really hard question because we have over 80 products. So it's so hard to have a favorite. But if you have a favorite, share what your favorite is would be great.
That's a great question and an even better statement because we do have so many wonderful products. But I have to say, hands down, consistently, when we launched the hair care line, the hair growth line, I was on it 100%. Because what woman do you know that, even men, but women, it's our crowning glory, right? Who doesn't want beautiful hair?
Sure.
And once you get results, it's easy to stay consistent. And so, I absolutely love my hair, the body, the texture, the growth. So I have to say, the serum is probably my favorite, but the whole entire hair care line.
This isn't a setup because sometimes people think it is, but the moment I saw you, I haven't seen you live like this for a while. And the first thing I said, I was like, wow, you look amazing, which you always do, but your hair looks spectacular. And it's funny you said that because, again, not a setup. One of my favorite products too. So I don't know if you could tell, but I was going to get a hair transplant. I'm embarrassed to say it, but I went to Dr. Bowden, which is in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, the town I live in. And this was about a year and a half ago. And it got to a point where there was so much hair at the bottom, when I blow dried my hair or combed my hair or took a shower, and all the top of my hair was really going bald, and it was awful. And I went to the doctor, greatest guy in the world, was very nice. He went in there, took pictures, gave me a quote. I didn't realize I really wanted to learn about the whole process. And it was really scary because you get a transplant, they literally cut in the back of your neck. They're cutting it, and then they're sticking it. But it's like the only thing that really can work in terms of replacing your hair until CTFO came out with the shampoo. And the shampoo itself is amazing because I used to use Head and Shoulders and have dandruff everywhere. And I believe that if we were to start a network marketing company just on this hair product alone, just this alone, just go out there and say, hey guys, men and women, right? It's a home run, but we've got so many other things that are so great. We barely talk about it. So it's funny that you said that. It wasn't a setup. I didn't say like ahead of time, hey, I got one sitting on my desk over here. And so I'm sorry, I don't want to take away from social marketing and making it. So I'm going to hand it over to you. And I've got my pen and paper because I'm looking for some golden nuggets and I want to learn. So go ahead.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say that, social media these days is really how we're connecting at all ages, right? Young, old, Gen X, Gen Z, whatever it is, it's some form or fashion, we're connecting on social media. And there are so many different ways to do it. And I'm not saying I have the best way, the right way, but it's just been my way and what I find works. You know, there are different ways, but I think the best way is to just do it, to just do something. You know, it's unfortunate when we lose a market or a country or territory that we can no longer sell to. But what I try and stress to people is that is not the end of your business. You know, we can't sell at CBD in Canada, but guess what? Canada is one of how many other different countries that we're in. So to me, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. You're losing business because with social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, now TikTok, there are so many different options. You can tap into billions of people. It's just a matter of doing the work. You know, so I always caution people, you know, while face-to-face is great, use the tools that are available to us. And, you know, we've all heard it, but unfortunately, strangers will support you more so than your family. And there's a bunch of strangers on Facebook that you can make them your friends. I've always found that I have something that somebody wants. There's someone out there in the world that I have something for. But if I never talk about it or show them what I have, they don't know to come to me. Right? So, you know, there's a couple of different ways that you can market on Facebook, and I'll try and keep it kind of high level. But there's attraction marketing, right? You can get people excited about, hey, who's looking to grow their hair? Inbox me. Like, you just don't post the information, and it makes them come to you like, hey, well, I've been kind of thinking about that. What do you got? That opens up the opportunity to have some dialogue with them, talk to them, find out what their needs are, what they're looking for, you know, ask qualifying questions, and who knows what you may uncover. They may also want to lose weight. They may say, you know, I've been having this pain also. I heard about this CBD that's in your shampoo. Oh, did you? Great. I have a product for that. Like, just, you know, put it out there, let them answer you, you know, say, hey, can we jump on the phone really quick, or through Messenger, whatever it is, just have that dialogue. And there's also just simply posting on your page. And some people are uncomfortable about that, but you know, I have to tell you, the way I look at social media, or primarily Facebook, when you're watching TV, how many commercials do you see between the shows?
Yeah, quite a few.
Do you see quite a few, right? And I mean, a prime example is, look at McDonald's. McDonald's has been in business forever, but they still advertise as if people never heard of McDonald's. Advertising your business is important. You can no longer, because it's so competitive out there, you can't just sit back and expect people to come to you, especially if they don't know what you have. So, you know, post on social media, let them see what you have, and hopefully they'll start to ask some questions. Or if they even like your post, reach out to them and say, hey, thanks for your support. I just want to know, why did you like my post? What about that post caught your eye? And, you know, that gets them to open up to you. And then you get to see, is there an opportunity here for me or not? And they could say, well, you know, I was just showing support. Okay, great. Would you mind showing more support? Here's what I can do. And this is a great way to kind of tap into more people that you may not be connected to. So if someone is supportive, they like your post, they comment, you know, one of the things that I offer to do is say, hey, I noticed you have 3,000 or 4,000 friends. These are 3,000 or 4,000 people that I don't know. Would you mind if I posted on your page an advertisement about my hair care product? You may have some friends that are looking to grow their hair. You know, so now you're reaching out and you're broadening your audience without even having to do anything. And what I typically do is I'll run like kind of a week special. Hey, if you allow me to tag you on my posts, I'll put you into a raffle, and whoever wins will get a free product valued at $50. So now I've, you know, say 10 people and they each have 2,000 friends each. Look how many people now I'm able to connect to that I wouldn't be able to do on my own.
Now, do you tag them or do you just post on their page? What do you do? I love that you
It
ask permission.
depends. Yeah, so you always want to ask permission because, just doing it is spammy and it's annoying, and that's when I block people.
Sure.
But it depends on how many takers I have. So if I put the offer out there and says, I say, hey, I'm looking to broaden, my reach. Can I tag you on some posts of mine?
Okay.
If I get enough people in, I'll just tag them on a post. If I only get one or two, I will just post on their page. So it really depends on how many people really want to be involved. Of course, the more, the better.
I'm taking notes here. I'm sorry. I love
No,
it.
that's fine.
Broaden my reach. I love it. Broaden my reach.
Yeah, and and speaking of your reach, I run across people all the time that say, well, I work, I have kids, I really don't have time to market, I don't know a lot of people. Well, this is a way to do that. And they say my plan is to market on Facebook, but they have 100 or 200 friends. Mm-hmm. It's never going to get you where you want to be, folks. You have to do the homework, you have to do the work by building your audience, because if those same 100 or 200 people haven't supported you, chances are they won't. And what I find is most people get discouraged and then they just stop posting and walk away. Mm-hmm. No, you don't walk away. You just find new friends. You build your audience. Rome wasn't built by just 200 people. It was 2,000 or 200,000 or however many. So do the work to build your audience. And there's a multitude of ways that you can do that. One of the ways that I like is if you're into cooking, join some cooking groups on Facebook. There's groups for everything now. And I stay away from the marketing groups and build your business groups because those folks are already in business. They're there for their own agenda. But join some cooking groups or scuba diving groups or children with autism groups, right? Parents with multiple children, single parents, whatever that is. And you begin to post and look like an expert when you interact with people in this group and they trust you. And you can post simple things in there like, hey, I'm just looking to network with people that have things in common with me. If you're interested, send me a friend request. Boom, you have a new friend. And it's so unobtrusive and in a friendly sort of way. You guys have this common thing that you share. And now you begin to post and they say, oh, wow, I just made friends with Nicole, but I noticed, I do have pain in my back and she's posting about CBD. Mm-hmm. It's a win-win. So, I always say take advantage of groups and that will help you build your friends list and build some relationships with people. Because at the end of the day, this is all about relationships. Mm-hmm. Currently on my Facebook, I'll tell you exactly. And this is, I'm such a firm believer in this because I walk the walk. So right now I have 3,694 people following me. Mm-hmm. They're not even my friends, but they follow me. And then I have 4,600 friends. So right there, that's over 8,000 people that I have an opportunity to connect with on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So, it's super important to use it. But I have to say, posting, you have to post about your business. And I like to vary that up. So sometimes I'll post about, hey, I'm looking for some amazing people to help build my CBD team or start a free business. And then I'll talk about, of course, my favorite product because I use it, I have results. I talk about my hair care system. Most of the women on my Facebook group, on my Facebook page, want to grow their hair or know someone that does. Mm-hmm. So that's an easy thing. Another way you can kind of build your business on Facebook is you can start to build your own groups. If you have friends that you say, hey, I want to start a group and give you guys some personalized attention. Mm-hmm. Personalized, right? Mm-hmm. This is geared just to you so I can find out what your needs are and better support you. Now you have a captive audience because they're all in your group and they're going to watch the things that you post instead of randomly posting on your page. They're part of your audience. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't want to drag it out, but I'm going to always go back to consistency. You know, sometimes I see people will post one post or two posts or five, and they get discouraged because they didn't get that feedback. I can promise you that people are always watching. They're watching for your consistency, especially if you've tried out a few things. They want to see, hey, are you going to give up on this? Because I don't want to buy from you if I can't go to you in 6 months for help or for your support. I don't want to join your team if I'm not sure that you're actually believing in this business and you're going to be here in a year. So, you know, when you post, you can't expect immediate results, but I promise you they're watching. Yeah. You know, people work, people go to school, people have families. They're not always on Facebook at 1 o'clock when you've made your post. Everyone comes on at different times. So when you post a business post and then you're sharing this recipe and you're posting this news story and this joke, like there's too much for people to look through. So, you know, I'm a firm believer in you have to vary up your post, find the time that works best for you. Facebook now will tell you how many friends of your friends are online at this time. So try and post, you know, maybe it's all your friends work and they're home by 6, you know, 6 o'clock, they're trolling Facebook. Mm-hmm. I need to put up a post at 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So there is a little bit of some homework that you need to do, but it's so worth it. And at the end of the day, Michael, it's free.
Doesn't cost
it's free.
Anything. That's right.
It doesn't cost you anything, but a little bit of time. And, you know, I always tell people, you're posting on Facebook anyway. Why would you not take advantage of a free opportunity to share about your business?
Yeah. You know, it's amazing. I took some notes here, which you're offering great things. I had recently read something that now, compared to years ago, the average amount of time someone needs to see something before making a decision or reaching out is now it's more than 10. So maybe 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, someone could see something 3 times before making a buying decision or contacting. Now it's 10 times. 10 times is the average time that marketing companies, people who are in sales or people who are doing any kind of advertising. So I love that you wrote consistency of doing things and being consistent, because I can tell personal stories where I post things, not every week, but it seems like every week. I get a phone call from someone, you know, someone I actually went to high school with, who I haven't talked to in 30 years, Nicole, 30 years. And she says, hey, I'm looking into CBD. She sends me an instant message. Hey, I'm looking into CBD. I know you market CBD. And you're right. So she probably has seen my post over the last 3 years about CBD. She's interested in it, and she wasn't interested in the business, but she became a customer, and she's awesome. And the best part was, not even as much being a customer, we got on the phone and talked about high school from back in the 80s.
That's great.
So she's right. So if she saw me post about CBD and then this and that, she trusted, hey, he's been doing this long enough to do that. And I just want to comment, I love, because I don't do this, and now I'm going to start doing this. I love how you ask that person you're communicating with for them to send you the friend request. I think looking back, I've been too pushy, and I see someone, I'll send them a friend request, and then I'll say something, hey, I sent you a friend request. I love the passive way. Hey, listen, you're kind of saying, listen, send me a friend request. Let's become, you know what I mean? Good stuff. Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you know, nowadays, because most people have figured out how to market on Facebook, but they send a friend request and they just go about it the wrong way, and they're immediately inboxing you with their opportunity or their business. And I think by asking them to do it, it gives them the control, and people like to have control. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and I don't start off with offering my business or my, you know, I'm trying to truly make a connection. Sure. Hey, thanks for, you know, the friend request. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? Great. Well, I look forward to connecting with you and learning from you. And trust me, they're nosy. People are nosy. They're going to watch what you're posting.
Yeah.
And like you said, it may take them 10 times or so to see, you know, something that interests them before they reach out to you and say, hey, look, I had some questions about one of your posts.
Wow. Right. Well, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I'd like to have you come on many more times and do a lot more training. I picked up some great stuff, and I know we can do some different segments and do a lot of stuff. And would you mind coming back in the future and doing some great stuff?
I would love to. Training is something that's near and dear to my heart, Michael. I love to help people. And especially when they implement something that I've shared and they come back and they say, hey, you know, that worked for me. I love that feeling. And, you know, it's worked for me. So I'm not just blowing smoke. These are things that I do daily.
Well, I want to, so I always try to learn, and I took some notes, and I always encourage people to take notes because you can learn from it. But just taking notes is not enough. You got to implement what you wrote down. And the big thing for me that I walked away from is the influence of there's a lot of people I know who are not interested in joining network marketing or not interested in this, but if I ask them to do me a favor, or if I'm running a raffle, or hey, listen, you know, you have the wording you used was really good about your circle of influence. So I want to broaden my reach is the word that I'm going to use. I want to broaden my reach. I love that because I know that there's a lot of people that want to help. And I said, listen, I want to broaden my reach. You know, for example, the new product that's came out, which is the Bliss. I'm falling in love with it. It's becoming, other than the hair growth, which personally has changed my life, but the Bliss has been incredible. But
I'm waiting for mine.
Yeah, I just did a post today on Bliss and just what's happening in the world and COVID and people shuttering, and depression and all the things out there. And this stuff is just, it's incredible. You feel it. I mean, the stories I'm reading are just unbelievable. So I put a post on my Facebook page, but now I'm thinking to myself, what if I called some of my friends or reach out to them, hey, listen, do you mind if I tag you? Ask them. Now, rather than my 5,000 friends seeing it, which most of them are CTFO members anyways, why couldn't I ask some of my friends, hey, do you mind if I tag you in this? Right. And I know they would have said, no problem. Sure, not a problem. You can tag me. And then what would happen is by me tagging them, it shows up on their post too. So yeah, rather than having that. Good stuff.
And can I tell you, let me tell you what most people don't think about that, but just how powerful this is. I've done that with people that say, oh, I have no interest in being in business. But then they start seeing their friends comment and they're like, well, tell me a little bit more about this business, right? Because now they're seeing the activity from their own friends. And I said, well, you know, I'll be glad to take the sales, but you can start your own free business and get those sales from your friends that are interested.
Indirectly.
You know, so it's kind of twofold. It's very powerful.
Good. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much. You were awesome as always. And we'll have you on doing many more segments. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it as much as I do. Bye-bye now. And thank you, everyone.